So this is going to be a short Terran Van Hemert-esque rant about what the parallel node is actually doing in the color page and why DaVinci Resolve's documentation sucks shit. So two things I'm going to let you know before we get started. This footage is from pexels.com, Ahmad Rasul. It is totally free. You can download it and follow along if you want. Do what you will. Secondly, the impetus for my rant is this video by Colin Kelly, where he demonstrates that blurs do not work nicely with parallel nodes, which led me to wonder, why the fuck not? The thing that makes parallel nodes special is that they don't have any kind of layer priority. You can see here in the manual, it says the adjustments made by all nodes that are connected to a parallel mixer are combined equally, regardless of which nodes are highest. What the fuck does that mean? Are they being averaged? Are they being multiplied? What, is there a special blend mode they're using? What is going on here? The Resolve documentation has all kinds of places like this where it's just completely vague as to what it's actually doing to your image, and it pisses me off. Don't even get me started on the different scaling methods in the edit page. So, with the complete and utter lack of Blackmagic Design's support, I took it upon myself to reverse engineer this. It's very easy. I recreated what the parallel node is doing in the Fusion page. To demonstrate that it's the exact same thing, I'm going to show you that blur artifact that I mentioned earlier. So it works as you would expect if you throw the blur on just one input. Let me show you that here. That's normal. That's how the Gaussian blur is supposed to look. But if you add the same blur on two inputs, shit gets fucked up. Doing a little bit of image analysis, you can see that the areas most impacted by this artifact are areas of high detail or high frequency. That reminds me of a technique I recently learned from Compositing Academy that allows you to separate high-frequency detail from the color information of your image. There are two methods to accomplish this result. The one I'm concerned with is the additive subtractive method. So here we are in Fusion. You can see the output here is the exact same thing we got in the color page, and I have organized the composition to roughly match what the color page node graph looks like. Let's walk through it step by step. On the left, we have our input, our color space transform, and then we have the first node we are combining, which is just the blur, and the second node we are combining, which is the same exact blur. And what the parallel node does is it takes the difference between this change and the original input, and then adds that onto the original input. The reason this difference is taken and then added onto the image is because when you add things together, it doesn't matter what order you do it in, which is what makes the parallel node layer agnostic. But when you take the difference from the Gaussian blur like this, you get some negative values. What happens when you add a negative? It will go lower. And in the context of color, that means you're going to darken the image. And because these two are the exact same thing, you are subtracting these values twice, which means it gets darkened. So to reiterate what's happening, it takes your two nodes, subtracts the original input from them, and then adds this difference to your image. With that vital context that Blackmagic failed to provide, you can begin to put together the reason the spatial effects don't play nice with parallel mixers. It's because spatial effects cause a difference in detail. Color effects don't.